Hi everybody, welcome back to the kitchen. I'm here today with my very best banana bread recipe. I was cleaning up around today and I noticed that my bananas were really getting ripe, almost to the point where they're ready to, throw into the compost. The browner your bananas are, the better your banana bread will be. It will taste better and it will look better. It'll actually be a little darker. I already mashed a couple of my bananas just slightly to save some time, but I did want to show you look how black this banana is. Seriously, super black. But like I said, you'll get a better fragrance, you'll get better taste and better color, everything when the bananas are darker. So don't be afraid to let your bananas go dark. And I'm going to show you now this banana. You would think it was fit for the garbage, but look, it's hardly like a bruise or any discoloration on it at all. So first things first, you're going to mash 3 bananas. If you have small bananas, you can go ahead and use 3.5 bananas, but 3 bananas is fine. I like to do this step first because you can see here now they're kind of dry, not very wet, not very dark looking at all. But you'll see as they oxidize with the air, I'm assuming that's what's happening, they get really dark, they soften up quite a bit, and they even get a little bit more wet, which is great for moisture in your banana bread. This banana bread stays moist forever. Like, I've never ever seen it go dry, even like in a week. If you're lucky to keep it for a week. Lots of times I'll make 2 and 3 loaves at the same time, but today I'm just making the one. Now, as you can see, I hope you can see, ding. You can see all the bananas are mashed. They're getting kind of wet. Make sure they're mashed really well because you don't want like a big chunk of banana in there. Yeah, it's just not nice. Doesn't look nice and doesn't feel quite right in the banana loaf. So yeah, I think we're good there. I'm going to set that aside now. And the next thing I like to do, I don't know where I got this recipe, originally somewhere offline for sure. I didn't make it up myself. However, the recipe called for a couple of tablespoonfuls of sour cream. Not everybody always has sour cream on hand, and I found this works and tastes better. So what I like to do is take a tablespoonful of, regular carnation milk. And we do this first because it really helps thicken it up. So a tablespoon of the milk and a tablespoon of real lemon juice. It also comes in a big green bottle, but I got the little squeezy one today. You could use fresh lemon juice too, but I do find that the bottle lemon juice works better to thicken it. We're going to add the 2 together. I'm going to just kind of give it a little mix around. And you could see already, look, it's starting to thicken up, kind of like a sour cream. Now, I find the tanginess of this is a little better than sour cream, in my opinion. Some of you might prefer to use sour cream. It's all good. The banana bread will be delicious. So, now, what I did was take 1 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour. I already measured it out ahead of time. To that, I am going to add a teaspoon of baking soda and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm just looking, it calls for a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon too, and I see it's over there. So my salt's in there, my baking soda's in there, my flour is in there, and if you'll excuse me for 1 second, I'll run and grab the cinnamon. Hold that thought. Hiding behind the kettle it was. So I am going to need just, it calls for, let me see what it calls for. It calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. I actually prefer probably like close on a 1/2 teaspoon. And pop that right in there. I have a friend that hates cinnamon. If you don't like cinnamon, feel free to omit it. It's absolutely delicious with or without the cinnamon. So we've got that in there. We're going to whisk the dry ingredients just to kind of combine them together. You know, anytime with baking, normally that's what you'd have to do is sift them together so you don't get, you know, a big piece of cinnamon or a big piece of soda. It's kind of incorporates it together just so it's, you know, a little bit nicer when it goes together. Now, set that aside, and we're going to take 2 eggs. I just have some regular eggs here. What I like to do is crack my eggs, put them into a separate bowl first, because if you happen to get a piece of shell or anything like that, it's so easy to fish it out of a separate bowl than it would be if you had it in your bowl and you had other ingredients or other eggs or anything. So I have no shell in this one. Into the bowl it goes. I can tell these are not the farmer's eggs. The shells are thin when you buy them in the grocery store. I don't know what that is. I think it's because they're producing them too quickly, perhaps. I don't know. Anyhow, that's my other egg, free of shell, going in there. And I need 1 cup of sugar plus 2 tablespoons. That's my oven. 2 tablespoonfuls of sugar. I've already got it measured out, and that's going to go in the bowl here now, along with. Now, what I need to do is beat my sugar and my eggs, and then I'm going to drizzle in a 1/2 cup of oil, and today I'm using sunflower oil. I'm gonna head, I was so nice, I bought a new mixer. Oh, listen, it's super quiet. I bought that mostly for you guys. So I was finding I wanted to share a few other videos, but my mixer is just way too noisy. And yeah, I don't think you would have enjoyed that on the video. So I went and bought a new one, and it's a pretty red color. I love red. So you want to just kind of let that mix that up for a couple of minutes, just so the eggs and the oil, I think you can see here, kind of combines together, fluffs up a little bit. Now I'm going to push this up another level. Ooh, still not too bad. So now into my sugar and my 2 eggs, I'm going to drizzle in my 1/2 cup of oil. Again, I'm using sunflower, but you can use whatever oil you have on hand, though I wouldn't use olive oil. That's mostly for cooking, not baking. So when they say drizzle in oil, literally you're going to drizzle in the oil, little bit by little bit by little bit, and that helps incorporate everything just way better. I think if you added it all at one time, maybe, I don't know, maybe your eggs might separate or something, or I'm not really sure. But what I do find with all my baking is that you take your time and you have a little bit of patience with yourself, with the recipe, that it always comes out better. I find if I'm in a rush or I'm not paying attention, or, you know, whatever, if I'm in a bad mood. I know, I get bad moods sometimes. Not really. But anyhow, I find that it doesn't taste as good. My son can attest to that. He believes the same thing. So, you know, when you're in a good mood and you're happy and everything else, your food will absolutely taste better. So, spread some love down into your banana bread. I hope you guys had a really good Easter. I had a very quiet Easter, but it was nice. My son was out, and yeah, we cooked some fish and chips for Good Friday. I was planning to do a video for you guys of that as well, but I just, yeah, no time. I'm a busy bee, that's for sure. And you can see how patient I am being with this. As in life, you need patience. Patience is a virtue. I never used to have a lot of patience. I was very fortunate that I married a man with, if there's such a thing, too much patience. He's very, very patient. Like if I went to the mall, pre-COVID of course, and went shopping, he could sit outside on one of those benches for hours and hours and hours and would never complain. I'm blown away by that, because me, I'm like an in and out shopper. Get in, get out, get it done. So now you can see I've got that all incorporated. The oil and everything is in there. I'm going to turn off my mixer now. Ooh, even though it's quiet, it still makes a little bit of noise. So yeah, so now I'm going to add in my bananas. As you can see, they've gotten quite a bit darker, quite a bit wetter. I'm just making sure now that there's no big lumps. So we're just going to add the entire thing in there. It smells really, really, really banana-y. Kind of like that old banana medicine you used to have as a child. Ugh. I can still remember that. I never did. I never liked it. It was terrible. My little sister used to love it. I'm sure she'd take the banana medicine even if she wasn't sick. So I got my bananas in here. I'm just going to kind of quickly incorporate them in there. I'm going to also add now you can really see here. See how thick? I don't know if you can, but it's gotten pretty thick. So that will be my replacement for sour cream. Again, I just find it tastes better, it really does. And we're going to also add in a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm just using my club head. Look, I'm really getting to, my sister would have one of these for about 3 years. I think I only got this one, I don't know, just before Christmas maybe. In goes the vanilla. One more mix with the mixer. And then what I'm going to do is fold in the rest of my ingredients. I wasn't being very patient there, was I? Okay, now my sifted ingredients are going to be folded in. So in here I have my 1 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour, my 1 teaspoon of baking soda, my 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and my almost a full, probably about 3/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, which you can absolutely omit if you want to. That's going right in there now. And all I'm going to do is fold. So, you know, don't whisk. You're just going to kind of fold the liquid over top of the dry, and just until it's mixed. It won't take very long, as you'll see. Another thing to be gentle with. I think the reasoning for that is, again, the baking soda. Anytime you overwork baking soda or baking powder, it kind of deactivates it and you won't get it to rise very high. So now you can see that it's mixed just till incorporated. Now this is optional. You can add 2/3 of a cup of chopped nuts if you like. You can add chips if you like. I've got some chopped walnuts and some chopped pecans. They were just leftovers in the cupboard that I have to use up. So I coarsely chopped them. They're going in the bowl here now. Now, my hubby likes chips. I'm not a big fan of chocolate chips. So I'm just going to take, and again, I'm using Kirkland semi-sweet chocolate chips, 51% cacao, which I love. So I never measure for this. I puts my hand in the bag, yes, puts with an S, and hauls out a handful, and I put them in there like that. And that's all I do. And I'm going to gently fold that in there. You don't want the chocolate to overpower the banana. The nuts always go well with banana, in my opinion. Now, done like dinner, that is. So I'm going to take now my regular loaf pan, like a regular bread pan. I'm going to get some of this mess out of your way so you can have a little see. So inside, so if you don't have a liner, you're going to grease and flour. Do both. I have, again, one of these handy dandy little loaf pan liners. You might have seen me do it on the cheesecake video. They're made by unstick reusable cake and loaf liners. They're awesome and they last forever. I've got mine a few years now. And basically they just pop right in. The inner piece goes inside. The little flaps goes on the outside, just like that. They're totally non-stick. There's no need to grease or flour or anything. All you need to do, take your big bowl of banana bread and pour that right in. And be careful you don't, because mine was a little bit, I didn't put it back in the package like I should have. So just be careful your sides don't fold over when you're pouring in your loaf of bread. Scrape it all out. I hope you try this recipe. It really, really, really is the best. My husband's Uncle Sean, he says, that's not banana bread, that's banana cake. And it really does taste kind of similar to cake. Now, I'm going to go tap, tap, tap on this pan now, just to remove the bubbles. And yeah, you can have a see there. I like that the loaf pan liner comes up a little higher than the pan too, so if you had a loaf that was really rising high, it'd be awesome. So, yeah, I'll post the recipe. I will take a picture when it's done. And I really, really do hope you give it a try. It is the absolute best banana bread ever, even if I do say so myself. Okay, friends, well, you know, enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully I'll be back soon with another. Okay, bye.